Hello, my friends. We are at the latter half of July. Hard to believe. We had Christmas in July with HOMEWORX and QVC last weekend. We have new fall releases starting to drop. And I got back from vacation last week and found myself like over all of the summer fragrances. I think it's because I got a little bit of a reprieve from the heat when I was in Southern California last week. Yes, I know that they've been under a heat wave, but when you live in Arizona, like 89 degrees is not hot to me. Like I came back to 112 degree temperatures. So my mindset was like, I am feeling very much over summer. I have been burning over the last week a couple of my summer fragrances that I'm just trying to finish up and empty out. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about what I have been burning for the last week or so and what I plan to continue burning throughout probably the rest of July until I switch out my rotation for August. And I have quite a few candles to talk about here today. I've got a lot of the new candles from KRINGLE to talk about, some of their new fall fragrances. And yeah, I'm not ready to do post-burn reviews yet on those. I do like to wait until I'm at least a third of the way through, maybe even halfway mark before I do a dedicated video for those. But if you're looking for just maybe some initial thoughts, this is going to be a great video for you. I also have a couple of Bath & Body Works candles to talk about, as well as some HOMEWORX candles. So if you like this video, please hit thumbs up. If you are coming across my channel for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk all things candles. And this is a series that I do usually twice a month here on my channel, where I just sit down and share with you what I am burning, what I am planning to burn, what is currently in my burn rotation, and just share kind of like, I feel like these are like mini reviews for all of you guys. So if you like this video, let's go ahead and get into it, because there's a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a candle that is right at the top of the stack here in front of me. I always have to place these very precariously because I have tile floors on the other side, and I just think, oh boy, if any of these fall over, it's not gonna be a pretty sight. So one of the candles that I brought back into my rotation, just wanting to finish it out here, like I said, you will probably see a theme here that these are definitely more summer to fall transitional fragrances, and this was one that I received in PR a couple of months ago. I did a dedicated review on it and I put it away and thought that's one that I will bring out late summer. This is Bing Cherry Cola from the Carnival collection over at HOMEWORX. Fragrance notes on here are effervescent cola, wild cherry, sparkly lime, and sugared vanilla. This candle, I've burned about 2/3 of this so far, and this is nice. It's very authentic cherry cola type of fragrance. Don't let the lime note scare you off in here. It's not a super strong candle. I would give this one probably, okay, as I drop the lid, at least it wasn't the candle. I would give this one about a 6 in terms of strength and throw. If you have a smaller, more closed concept room with lower ceilings, it's gonna do well for you. I can smell it here in my living room. It's not very strong. I would say the projection is a little bit better than the actual strength of it, because I can smell it everywhere here in my open concept living room with high ceilings when it's lit, but it's not like a smack you in the face type of fragrance, which honestly, I don't think I would want that for this type of scent. It's not one that I will be repurchasing, but I do think that it is authentic to what it is proclaiming to be. And it's a good fragrance for this time of year. Like I said, I'm starting to feel really over all of the super fruity, even coconut. I'm starting to be like, okay, it's had its day. I'm done. Move on. So this has been a nice fragrance to burn this week. What I have been burning in combination with that has been vanilla bean ice cream. Now I did purchase 2 of these from HOMEWORX this year. Fragrance notes on this one are Madagascar vanilla bean, caramel cream, cinnamon, and crystallized sugar. Let's see, the pour date on this one is November 23rd of 2023. And I like this scent a lot. What I am getting from this is very much like a vanilla ice cream type of scent. It's good. It's really good. But Is it one that's going to be a house filler? No, it's a vanilla scent. Most vanilla fragrances are not that way, but it does combine really nicely if you are still burning some like fruity fragrances. Obviously, this was the most natural fit to go with that Bing Cherry Cola. I don't really have anything else in my collection that I feel like would really enhance that fragrance. And I typically like to burn more than one fragrance at a time, usually in various rooms throughout my house. But this one's good. It's good for what it is. I do also like pairing this with, like, say, Farm Stand Peach. That's another great combo. But I have brought this one back out, and I hope to have that one finished up by the end of this month. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about some of the new country candles that have been released in this fall lineup. And I'm going to tell you guys, first off, don't worry about what this one looks like. In terms of the lid, I don't know what happened. But this is a candle that has really surprised me. In fact, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this new fall launch, these country candles, upon burn, my ranking of them has changed immensely from what I thought that they would be. So we're gonna talk about that here. Country Candles Glazed Berry Scone. So the lid on this one, I think what ended up happening was I put the lid on this prior to the wax hardening. These are 100% soy wax, so they do take a lot longer to harden after you've extinguished the wax to harden, that is. You guys, this one, when it is burning, I told you guys on my initial cold sniff impressions that I thought that this kind of smelled like, I definitely picked up cranberry. I don't get blueberry in this, and I'm not gonna like say that other people are wrong. Like, we all have different noses and what we smell. I don't smell blueberry. I smell cranberry and maybe like some blackberry or boysenberry like in the background of this. It's not blueberry to my nose though. So you're gonna see here, like I said, the wax I think kind of shifted around on one of the times that I put this up, but this is so good when it is burning. This is one of those fragrances that as it is burning, I still get kind of that cranberry, but that the scone note does come out in here, which I initially wasn't really smelling any kind of like, what would I say, like pastry in there, but upon burn, I do smell the pastry note in here, as well as some cranberry. Now I will tell you that the first couple of burns, I think I took a picture of this one after the first burn on it. I will tell you that the wicks did carbon ball quite a bit on the first burn, but in successive burns, I really haven't had that problem that much. I don't know if you can tell right here, I'll try to put it up really close, but you can tell here, I haven't trimmed these wicks after the last burn and they're not terribly bad. So I am gonna go ahead, I do want to try to get this at least to the halfway point, like I said, before I do a dedicated post-burn review on it. Strength and throw on this one so far, for me has been around a 6. It's not a powerhouse. I did talk about in my first sniffs video that I do think that one of the reasons why the country candles might struggle in the really strong projection area is that with certain fragrances is I think it has something to do with the jar style, but that's just my own personal theory. But this one is so good, you guys. It is like a cranberry scone. So yummy. I have really been loving that one. So stay tuned for my dedicated post-burn thoughts on that one. What candle have I been burning with that one? I've usually been burning my HOMEWORX Farm Stand, not Farm Stand Blueberry. It's the Blueberry Cheesecake, which I think was a mispour of last year's Triple Berry Pie. And I have also been burning, oddly enough, I've been burning Merlot with that candle. I did just purchase another candle from Bath & Body Works that I plan to pair with the berry scone one. I also think that if you have Harvest Leaves from not Bath & Body Works, HOMEWORX, that would be a great combo. But Merlot, oddly enough, has also been a really nice pairing. This is from the Reserve launch. Now, this was the candle that initially I had received this one broken when KRINGLE sent them to me in PR, and then they sent me a replacement. So this is my replacement. And I really didn't get to burn this one as much as I would have liked to prior to the Reserve launch. So again, this was a fragrance that I said, I'm gonna set this aside, bring it back out as a fall transitional. And ooh, it's so good. It's a deep, bold, grape type of fragrance, which grape scents normally aren't my thing. The fragrance notes on here are grape, berry, currant, sweet, and berry sugar. This is a very robust, juicy, deep grape scent. That's the best way that I can put it, but it's good. It's sophisticated. It's not like Kool-Aid or like artificial grape to me. It's really, really nice. I've really been enjoying this one. Performance on this is very strong. I would give this one a good solid 8 in terms of strength and throw in my home. It's been performing really well. And I did post this on the KRINGLE website, the KRINGLE Facebook group the other day. I busted this one out, which is Merlot Vines. I thought, okay, let's go ahead and combine it with Merlot. That makes sense, right? Oh boy, does it make sense, because these are two very distinctly different fragrances. Merlot is definitely a good, fruity, juicy, deep, robust grape. This smells more like, I can't even describe what it would be like walking through a vineyard. You get some of that, what I would say, grapiness in the background, but it's not, this is not like I'm walking in and smelling like being like, oh, it smells like grape. This, what are the fragrance notes on here? Fragrance notes on here are currant, grape, rose, berry, wood, and musk. I think it's that rose note, oddly enough, in here that is coming across almost slightly floral but woody at the same time. This is a very difficult fragrance for me to describe. I'm not sure if the daylights are available yet on the KRINGLE website. I do believe that the wax melts are. Pick this one up in that fragrance, because I did say in that KRINGLE group the other night that this with that Merlot is probably one of my most unexpected favorite fall transitional fragrance combos right now. I had this lit the other night and I loved it. Now, this is not a smack you in the face strong fragrance. Again, you probably don't want that, especially with that rose note. I think the rose is in the mid notes and I do smell it, but it's not like springtime rose. It's not even like your nose would think like smelling this, like, oh, I'm smelling rose. It's definitely a good fall transitional scent to my nose. It's not pumpkin or apple or anything like that. There is something that just reminds me of probably walking through a vineyard on this. Something kind of woody, but not woody in like a traditional masculine cologne type of scent. It's really hard for me to describe, but really good. Like I said, the strength of the scent, again, that's all so subjective. I could definitely smell this fragrance. I had it burning here in my living room last night, and it was permeating throughout, but it was very pleasant. It wasn't a like, whoa, that's really, really strong type of scent. So, and again, I've only had this one lit once, and I think I did trim the wicks on this one already though after. All of them are developing a little bit of carbon balls, but they're not excessively bad in my opinion. So that was a great combination. Let's talk about a Yankee candle here that I have been burning quite a bit. You guys saw that I did participate in the Yankee Candle SAS, and I did pick up a classic jar here. Now, I don't know what happened to the lid here. Honestly, I think I got my lids all mixed up, and this one looks a little discolored. But this is Buttercream from Yankee Candle. Just a single wick in their classic paraffin formula, but this I have been burning primarily in my daughter's room. She really likes this fragrance, and she says it fits the aesthetic in her room, which would be true. She likes kind of this like ivory type of color choices in there. She's an artist, but it cracks me up that she's always drawn to very neutral color palettes when it comes to decoration. Everybody has their thing, right? But yeah, it's a good buttercream type of scent. I think, oh, am I gonna get lipstick on there? Hit my mouth. It's a good buttercream scent. Is it one that I think would project really well in a larger open concept room? No, I don't think so, but it's definitely noticeable in her bedroom. I do place one of those Illuma lids on it just to help with that wax pool. I have heard that that is the best way to go with a lot of these Yankee single wicks, but it's a nice fragrance. I could see it getting cloying if it's in too small of a space. But in my daughter's bedroom, it's filling up the space and it's definitely noticeable. So we have been burning that one this week. Let's go ahead. While we were talking about the Merlot fragrance, another scent that I have been enjoying burning with it is Bath & Body Works Roasted Sesame. This was from the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I think the fragrance notes on this are roasted sesame, toasted hazelnut, and sweet maple. I think some people said that they believe that this was a repackage of peanut butter, pumpkin peanut brittle, something like that. Again, you guys, not the Bath & Body Works historian here. This is a nice fragrance. I get some of that hazelnut, and I get a little bit of maple, but it's not really like maple in terms of like some of the fall maple fragrances. That's a sweetness that comes from maple in here. But I was burning this the other night with the Merlot fragrance, and I really liked it. Kind of gives a little bit of that peanut butter and jelly vibe, but not quite. I don't know. It was really, really nice. This one is performing quite well for me. I don't know if it's currently available at Bath & Body Works. If it is, it's probably like severely discounted right now, but overall, I am enjoying it. All right, let's talk about one of the new KRINGLE fall fragrances. This is one that I was really excited about. This is Warm and Toasty. So the fragrance notes on this candle are cedar, smoke, sweet, marshmallow, amber, and sugar. So when they had told us what candles were coming in the fall lineup, and I saw this packaging and everything, I thought, oh, they're gonna try to do Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fireside. This is not Marshmallow Fireside. I will tell you that this is like Marshmallow Fireside in reverse, and it's also, I feel like the sophisticated older sister to Marshmallow Fireside. So what I will say in this is that on cold sniff, especially the first time you get this in on cold sniff, when I initially smelled it, it was very smoky, heavy on that cedar wood smoke. Not necessarily cedar wood, because I think of like the Reserve Candle Heartwood is smelling more like cedar, but it was definitely a smoky fragrance. And you could smell that marshmallow, that like vanilla marshmallow and amber in the background. However, when this candle is lit, the smoky note takes a background, goes into the background, and what really shines is that vanilla and amber fragrance. It is amazing. I really, really like this scent a lot. Yeah, there's just something about it that just, if you enjoy Marshmallow Fireside, you are going to enjoy this one, but it's different. And I think you're gonna know what I'm talking about when you sniff it. There's something that's just slightly more elevated to it. It kind of in a way reminds me of, a little bit of, it's slightly sweeter, and maybe that's a little bit more from the amber note in here than the replica perfume, what is it, By the Fireplace. Something about it kind of reminds me of that, but there's a little bit more amber in here, I think. But this is really, really well done. Performed well for me as well. I'm getting good performance out of these so far. So, but again, you guys, I barely burned it. Because I have my cousin visiting this week, she's not really a fan of smoky type of fragrances. So I'm trying to be respectful of that, and we're burning fragrances that she really enjoys a little bit more. But so far, so good on that one, you guys. I'm just wanting to let you guys know that if you guys happen to get that one in and you smell it at first and you're like, ooh, that's really, really smoky, burn it, because that amber and vanilla note, that vanilla gooey marshmallow toasted note really, really comes out when it is burning. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and play my Tetris game here. We're gonna move some candles around. Let me go ahead and talk about a HOMEWORX candle that I have been burning. This is another one that I have had before in the past, but I did purchase it again this year, so that way I would have it to do a dedicated post-burn review on, and that would also be from their Carnival collection. This is Funnel Cake. Fragrance notes on Funnel Cake are vanilla praline cake, golden apple, cinnamon stick, star anise. This one has a pour date of December 5th of 2023. Now, I am in the camp, and I have said this several times, I believe that HOMEWORX has a variation of hot cider donut in almost every collection that they launch, whether that would be in the spring, summer, carnival, fall, I think it is hot cider donut. But this to me smells very, very similar to hot cider donut. Maybe not as much sweet apple in here. Maybe that's the difference. But this is definitely a sibling to hot cider donut. So if you do like that fragrance, if you like powdered sugar crepe, sugared beignets, you're going to enjoy this fragrance. I lit it up for the first time this morning, and it burned very well for me. And I can't really have any complaints with it so far. So, but stay tuned. I'll do a dedicated post-burn review if you want to see what it does at the halfway point. I did pair it with Caramel Apple, which is new to the Slatkin & Co. website. I'm not sure if it's a completely new fragrance. Some people have asked if it's a repackage of Poison Apple. I never had that fragrance, so I can't say yay or nay if it was. But the fragrance notes on this are red apple, caramel drizzle, vanilla bean, and cinnamon. Mine has a pour date of March 12th, 2024. So I did burn this one time already. Now this fragrance to me, you can see the wax pool here. It's a beautiful deep red wax. The wicks did pretty well for me. I didn't have any issues. They didn't even carbon ball or anything. I mean, I didn't trim them after the first burn. Burned very, very cleanly, very nicely. I didn't have any issues pulling it out. If you're new to my channel, sometimes I burn my candles in hurricanes, like in the winter months, but in the summer, it's just too hot. The ambient temperature in my home is warm enough that I don't feel like hurricanes are necessary. But this one, if you happen to like Bath & Body Works Summer Boardwalk, it's in that vein. It's not the same fragrance. There are some nuanced differences. Harry Slatkin does caramel fragrances very, very well, in my opinion. Well, you're gonna find out here. I don't always love caramel fragrances, but I like the way that Harry does them. And this is not cloying. I do smell caramel, but I go back and forth between, do you say it caramel or caramel? I go back and forth. Usually I say caramel, but sometimes a caramel will sneak in there. But yeah, this is, I get caramel, but it's like those like chewy caramels, almost like the ones that you buy in the store, the ones that you would use on a caramel apple. Definitely some apple in here. Tiny pinch of cinnamon in the background, but it's not cloying red hot cinnamon. And this one performed pretty well for me on first burn. You guys know that with HOMEWORX candles, I usually feel like they don't settle into their potential, usually until I'm about 3 or 4 burns in. But I did really like this one, and I did enjoy pairing it with funnel cake. If you have hot cider donut, I think you might like to pair it with that, as well as if you have Bath & Body Works Summer Boardwalk. That's a great fragrance combination. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead. I'm going to talk about another Bath & Body Works candle here before I finish out with a couple more of the new releases from KRINGLE. So this is one of my beloved Hummingbird Tea Cakes. I do have one more of these still in my backup stash. Fragrance notes on this one are pineapple cake batter, cinnamon spice, and toasted pecans. This one I was really enjoying burning with Sugared Diamonds, which is the 3-wick version from KRINGLE of their Fruit and Flakes fragrance. It says banana, or it says pineapple, but it does kind of smell a little bit like, banana, but not Laffy Taffy. It's not your typical like cocktail pineapple fragrance in here. I've said that the spice cake note in here is very similar to the spice cake note that is in their sweet carrot cake, which they put out around Easter. And yeah, I love this fragrance. It's performed really well for me. I have a dedicated post-burn review on it, which, by the way, you guys, all of the candles that I'm talking about today will be listed and linked down below for you guys with timestamps, and if there's any dedicated reviews, you can be able to find those down there, as well as any discount codes. I am a brand ambassador for both HOMEWORX and KRINGLE. Just be aware that those discount codes or my links are, well, the links for HOMEWORX or KRINGLE are eligible for a commission, so only use them if you're comfortable with that. All right, you guys, while I'm talking about Hummingbird Tea Cake, let's go ahead and talk about a fragrance that I started burning with it because I was looking at the fragrance notes and being like, oh, I think they're gonna pair really nicely. And they do, but this is where I'm gonna tell you guys, much like that Merlot Vines really surprised me because I didn't rank it very high on my cold sniffs in terms of like what would have been my favorites, what I thought were gonna be my favorites. This was my #1 of the entire fall release. I thought Praline Buttercream on cold sniff, I was in love with this scent. So the fragrance notes on here are caramel, pecan, brown sugar, butter, nut, and vanilla. So I don't hate this upon burn. It's very true to what the fragrance notes say. However, much like I've said, that I think that we get in our head that like, oh, I don't like this fragrance note. I don't think I love how KRINGLE candle does caramel. Can I just say that? Like, you guys know I'm an ambassador, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think my nose doesn't like the way that if they combine caramel and butter and what's the other note in here that I typically see? Brown sugar. When I see brown sugar, butter, and caramel with Kringle, I think for me, I don't want to say it's going to be a red flag, but I don't really love this one when it's burning. Something about it comes across a little bit burned to my nose. That's the only way that I can describe it. And it's not like burned, it's not burned like smoky fire burned. It's burned like something, like I'm burning the caramel, I guess. That's how it comes across to my nose. It's not chewy caramel like I was saying is in that HOMEWORX caramel apple. It comes across almost too, I don't know, there's something that's too much for it, for me. This is a very strong candle. Of course it would be, right? It reminds me a lot of, I think it's their vanilla waffle cone. They also had it in, when they first did those 3 wicks in the 100% soy, it was in like the birthday, it had all of like the birthday balloons on it. It reminds me an awful lot of that fragrance. I don't believe it's a repackage, but it does smell very similar to me. And I think it's because it's that caramel note in here. So be aware that if you are somebody that Kringle's caramel notes come across a little bit scorched to you, you might want to wait and get this in a daylight or a smaller version, or maybe just wait for more reviews on it, because I will tell you that to my nose, that's how it's coming across. I will continue to burn it to the halfway point so that way I can still develop more thoughts for you. So far, you guys, if you happen to have liked those other Kringle scents that I compared this to, it's been very strong for me. Like good solid 8, I would say, in terms of strength and throw, permeates throughout the open concept. I think that you will like that one if you happen to like those other fragrances, but also I could see that if you don't like caramel fragrances, you may want to steer clear of that. And then the other fragrance that I had ranked kind of in the middle on those initial sniffs was Almond Butter Cookie. So the fragrance notes on this are almond, sweet, vanilla, pumpkin, maple, and amaretto. And this one, to me, I get that amaretto note when I am burning it. But again, you guys, I don't love this one. I'll continue to burn it. I have been burning it with the Hummingbird Tea Cake. I've also been burning it with their other limited edition, the banana bread. But I think it's the amaretto note in here. It almost comes across, it's almost, in a weird way, it smells like a sour oatmeal cookie or something like that to me. There's something that smells slightly sour in this to me, and I don't know what it is when it is burning. I don't love it. I really thought that I was gonna love this one, and I mean, the Praline Buttercream is the one that's just taken me aback so much that I'm like, why am I not loving this as much as I thought I would? But those are just kind of like my first thoughts upon burn on those. But we are not going to end on a negative note here, you guys. We're gonna end on a very surprising note here. So the 2 fragrances that I ranked as my lowest ranking when I did the Kringle First Sniffs video, that's why I always say you gotta burn them. I don't hate this like I thought I was going to. This is White Birch and Rain, and I even in some ways compared this to Pine Sol. Fragrance notes on this one are herbal, cool, eucalyptus, lavender, musk, and mint. You guys, I burned this the other day and I was like, I actually kind of like this. It's outdoorsy, it's fresh, it's not cologne-like. You get some of the eucalyptus and the mint in there. It's very, and honestly, you guys, I'm gonna tell you, the reason why I was burning this was because when we came home from Disneyland, quite a few of my family members were a little bit congested in the sinuses, and so I thought, well, this would be a good fragrance to kind of help clear things out, and then I can go ahead and get some thoughts. I was like, okay, fine. The obligatory, I'll start burning it. I was like, oh, I actually like this. Made my house smell very, very clean, but not like Pine Sol. I was very, very surprised by how much I like this one. So surprised, and it performed well. This one was pretty strong, first burn, so I would give it about a 7 on the first burn, which honestly, you guys, this is a fragrance that I don't think I want it to be a 10. Anything eucalyptus or those super fresh fragrances, they can be very, very headache inducing for me personally, if it was any stronger. But I actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. And here's the one that I don't know what happened with this one. So when I initially did my first sniffs of Pinecones and Pomander, all I could smell was pine. And it was funny because I was watching some of the other ambassadors, their initial first sniffs or reviews, and they were like, I get the citrus, I get the orange. And I was like, I am not smelling, like, the orange is very, very faint in the background. All I could get was pine. Went away for a week, came home. I sniffed it again when I came home, and it was the weirdest thing, you guys. When I opened it up, I was like, oh, there's orange. Orange is in fact what I'm smelling more than the pine. So I don't know if it was something that happened with the oils during the shipping process. We all know that Kringle uses UPS and those vehicles are not air conditioned. I don't know if it was something that the wax heated up and then it cooled down and then it settled for a week. It wasn't touched for a week. I don't know what happened, but I definitely get much more orange in this now, and it is an orange that I like. It is the orange that I feel like it's not the same fragrance, but I do feel like it's the same orange accord that they use in Away in a Manger. There's no clove or spice or anything like that in here. Maybe even the same orange note that they used in Melanie's Vintage Pomander. This is not a Pomander fragrance though to me. This is very, I think it could have been like orange pine cones or something, because I do get the pine note in the background on this, but it's very, very faint. So what I did do, ironically, was I did burn this in my bedroom while I burned that White Birch and Rain fragrance, and the combination was actually very, very pleasant. Made my home smell very fresh and clean, but in a weird way, I think it's like a fall fresh and clean, or it doesn't scream springtime fresh and clean or summer fresh and clean. It definitely smells like I am in like a wooded forest, and I've been cleaning my house and the windows are all open. But ooh, it's really good. I was really surprised by this. This is a fragrance that when I was burning it the other day, I was thinking, oh, this is one my mom would have loved. I really think my mom would have loved this fragrance. But again, there's no clove or cinnamon or spice in there. So I know some people, the Pomanders usually have clove in there. This one, I can't even read the fragrance notes on the bottom because it got a little bit wonky there. But surprisingly, I really, really enjoyed that fragrance. So I think that's it. I think I covered all of the fragrances, yes, that I have been burning over this last week. And these are ones that are in my rotation right now. Keep your eyes peeled, you guys. I am going to try to start posting some dedicated post-burn reviews as soon as I get to the halfway point on them. Like I said, taking that week off for vacation. And honestly, you guys, even this week, it's been a little bit all over the place in terms of being able to film any dedicated reviews. I really haven't gotten to the halfway point on a lot of these to do that. I also want to throw in some dedicated reviews for the Palo Santo Spruce from HOMEWORX, as well as the Vanilla Marshmallow Cookie. I know that those are both, at the time that I'm filming this, they're still available on QVC for the Christmas in July. So I am actually ready to film some post-burn thoughts on that. So, stay tuned, you guys. I will have some post-burn reviews coming up on these for you guys, but I did just want to share some initial thoughts, and I'll keep burning them throughout the rest of July. So feel free to chime in down below. What are your thoughts on some of these candles, or did you purchase any of the candles from the Kringle fall release, or any of the candles that are coming out on the HOMEWORX website? Did you purchase Christmas in July? Just feel free to share whatever you want in the comment box down below with what is going on in your candle rotation right now. Are you with me? Are you feeling completely over summer? I am definitely over it right now, but also I'm not yet quite ready for apple and pumpkin. So I'm really glad that I kind of have a variety here of fragrances that will ease me out of summer and into the fall months. So again, please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. It really helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new. YouTube should be suggesting a couple of other videos here at the end of this one for you to check out if you have more time. But if not, I do just want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.